Now here from the summer of 1989 is proof that sometimes actors forget which anecdote they've told on which show. Because Rick Moranis is being interviewed on Late Night with David Letterman, and he tells some of the same anecdotes that he told on MTV's The Big Picture. Enjoy.
Oh yeah. The crowd goes crazy. Now, Tom Brokaw's talking to this guy. This guy's going to be on nightly news tomorrow night doing sit-ups. You people must have been at McDonald's and gotten a cup with my face on it, I can see.
Is there a McDonald's cup with your face on it?
Yeah.
This is Ghostbusters 2.
This is it. I've gotten married, I got kids, and now I'm Fred McMurray of the 90s, basically.
Well, that's all right.
My kid's wearing Pampers with a Mickey Mouse, and tomorrow I'm test driving a Lumina.
So it's parenthood, and you're a family man. Would you like to use the drummer?
No. Last time I did. I kind of used to it. But they're not doing rim shots that way anymore. It's all synthesized now. Yeah. You're out of date.
Let me tell me about, first of all, Ghostbusters 2. Now you.
No. They made $30 million last week.
That's
we
right.
got to talk about Honey, I Shrunk the Kid.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay,
but it's the same. You're the same guy you were in the original.
You're into Ghostbusters 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're Sigourney Weaver's neighbor.
No, the building got blown up. We're not neighbors anymore.
All right, so
it's 5 years later. She's had an affair with a guy. She's got a bit. I can't keep track of it all. You know, really.
Were you pleased with the film?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, now you've seen it.
No, I swear I haven't seen it.
You really haven't seen it?
I like to wait. I mean, you're gonna think I like to wait and go to a matinee with a paying audience and see the film play properly.
Yeah. Now it's going to be a long time before there's room for you to sneak into a matinee because it's doing huge business.
I won't sneak. I'll just pay. Oh, you mean because of the business?
Yeah, it's going to be very crowded.
Not the theaters I go to. You can always get into those theaters.
Now, did you get a good hunk of this one? Because
oh, huge. Yeah. No, I didn't get. What? Me?
Well,
are you kidding?
I don't know.
No, but I got a big piece of Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. Hey, all right.
A couple of months ago, I went to a film somewhere, I forget what it was, and they were running trailers for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It looks very, very funny.
It is. It actually, to my surprise, not only works for families, but it's done very well with an older audience.
Yeah. And the premise again here is you're in your basement.
Well, I mean, the title says it all, right?
I guess
this
pretty
is
much does,
the era we live in. 3 Men and a Baby, you knew what the movie was about, you know? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you know? Nanuchka, what was that? You know? An eggplant dish or something?
And the film...
Gone with the Wind, the story of a kite by Disney, you know? I Shrunk the Kids. You know what it's about.
That pretty much says it. And the film was shot in, I found this...
Mexico City.
Now, why Mexico City? Because from the looks of the trailer, it was like a suburban, a typical American
and
suburban
they built
family.
it on the back lot of Churubusco Studios, which is in Mexico City.
Churubusco Studios?
Churubusco Studios. Legendary place.
Where they did E.T., right?
Treasure of Sierra Madre was done there.
Oh.
As soon as we left, the Bond people came in to do this last one. And when you drive on the lot, it's exactly like shooting anywhere else, except, there'll be a couple of guys eating a dog off to, or a couple of dogs eating a guy, But other than that...
My cholesterol just ba-boom!
This is... That's how I keep my cholesterol down.
Oh, no, no,
Very low.
Very lean, no.
No, but Churubusco, it was basically the same as shooting anywhere else. Yeah. Really.
How long were you there?
Too long, Mexico City, you want to land and go to the beach.
Now, Mexico City is it the most crowded, the biggest population of any city in the world?
That's what I've heard. Yeah, no, the good line I heard somebody said was in Mexico City, there's 20 million people, they all have 2 cars and they drive them simultaneously. And it's like that. It's sad,
actually. Smog there?
It's terribly polluted.
Yeah.
It's like Burbank.
Yeah. Now, did you have any trouble with you're there for a long time, 3 months maybe?
I was there for a long time, but I did not get sick because I boiled everything. Peeled fruit, boil everything. Excuse me, before you peel the orange, put your hands in this boiling water. That kind of thing. But there's always one guy, there's always one stuntman on these films who says, Rick. I mean, these guys, they look like the guy doing sit-up. Rick. And this happened when we were in Jamaica on Club Paradise. Happened on Mexico for this thing. Happened when I was in India doing Gandhi. And there's always one stuntman who says, Rick, the way to deal with the bugs is to get them in your system. You've got to drink a large glass of water the day you arrive, And, you know, they drink a huge glass of water. The next day, they're like, all the turgor is gone. They're this big. You see more freckles every day, you know. They bring in another stuntman to do this.
So they get sick, and hopefully their body will work through it.
Hopefully they stay alive,
But you didn't get sick at all.
No, because I didn't eat anything.
Yeah, well, that's, were you able to take your family?
No. I left them here.
How is your family?
They're great. They're terrific. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
And you have
two. I have 2 little kids.
Is that right?
Yeah. A little girl, 2.5. She better not be up watching this.
2.5. You have a girl, 2.5.
And a boy, 9 months.
Man, that's stunning. I didn't realize that you had, like, a real family here.
Yeah. That's why I'm test driving the Lumina.
Yeah. When was the last time we saw you?
I think I was here when Little Shop of Horrors came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So, man, congratulations.
It's nice to be back in the old time slot here.
Yeah, that's it. You know,
this is normally the time we're picking the ticks off each other.
You know, I was going to say this, and then I thought, no, I won't say it because I say it whenever you or anybody from that show is on. But, geez, I see those reruns on...
That girl?
No. Rick, it's the water. It's the water you were drinking. No, the SCTV rerun.
It's still on.
Man, it's a great show.
Some of it holds up, doesn't it?
Well, most of it holds up. Yeah. Anyway, it's Honey.
Honey? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
All right, and it's going to be a blockbuster.
I think they want to do a sequel. Do you believe that?
Good. And Friday, and Ghostbusters 2. Anything else?
Yeah, Parenthood. I did a picture with Ron Howard with a great cast. Steve Martin, Jason Robards, Diane Weiss, Mary Steenburgen, Tom Hulse.
Wow.
All these
so
Oscar
you're
winners.
serious about this movie stuff.
It's a total accident. I'd rather be doing this show.
Good to see you, Rick.
All right, so long.
Rick, no, hey, wait a minute. We'll be right back.
From the media blitz for Ghostbusters 2 in the summer of 1989, here's MTV's Chris Connelly and someone else talking about Bobby Brown.
The theme song is very hot by Bobby Brown.
Former singer for New Edition.
Right,
but huge hits lately.
It's gone to his head because we hear he's been hanging around 5 or 6, 7 big, beefy bodyguards with guns and portaphones. He probably borrowed them from Eddie Murphy or Prince.
I guess it'd be useful if you get in an argument, you know, you just have a couple of entourage guys sticking around.
Again, from the summer of 1989, here's Barbara Walters introducing a clip of Chantal interviewing Ernie Hudson, Harold Ramis, and Annie Potts. The mandatory mood slime clip, parentheses, was there any doubt?
The streets will be ghost-free. Ghostbusters 2 has been out only a few days. It's already filling the theaters in record numbers. Chantal spoke with Ghostbusters, Harold Ramis, Annie Potts, and Ernie Hudson about their success.
Ghostbusters 2 is a little different than most movies you see these days because 2 of its stars actually wrote the script, Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis.
Are there lines that you hear other people say, or for that matter, that you say, that you've written, that when you hear it you say, oh, that's so stupid. Why did I write that?
No, because no one ever says the lines you wrote anyway, so forget it. The scenes are entirely rewritten before you shoot, because the first thing you do when you get to the set is read through the scene, and the first thing everyone says, I can't say these lines, you know, who wrote this stuff? Even I say it. So the next thing you do is rewrite right on the spot, and most of the actors in the film are great at putting things in their own words or coming up with new jokes.
You mean this stuff actually feeds on bad vibes?
Like a cop in a donut factory.
How do you explain to your kids what you do for a living? I mean, so many kids have dentists and doctors and lawyers for parents, and yet you get up every morning and you go off and you become somebody else.
I remember when I was a kid, before I knew about doctors and dentists, I knew about people on television and people in movies. I mean, I was more familiar with actors than doctors. And same thing with my daughter. She would watch TV, and she quickly, as soon as she was capable of putting it together, she said, oh, Daddy's on TV.
All of you must be tremendous heroes to your kids. I mean, not all kids have Ghostbusters for parents.
I asked him not long ago. He said something that made me mad, and I said, you treat me like, you know, like you don't have a good life or something. I said, don't you think I'm cool? And he said, yes. And I said, is the only reason that you think that I'm cool is that I'm in Ghostbusters? Is that it? And he went, No. Yes.
Okay, Annie. Do you want to talk about the hair now?
The reason that it is this way is that I'm doing another film right now, and I needed to do this for the film. So I've only been with this for about a week, and I forget, and I haven't had time to really check it out much myself, but I see this look of horror on everybody else's face.
Hair also seems to be one of Annie's striking features in Ghostbusters 2, and believe me, she's grateful she never had to dunk it in slime like some other stars.
They told me that it washes right off. I shampooed my hair like 6 times to get it out of my hair. Because it's not just, you drench yourself in slime and then that's it. You shoot it, because you have to keep doing it over and over again. And that particular night, we shot it all night, so it was actually very cold that night. In fact, I couldn't believe Harold was out there. He wrote this. It was very, very cold and very wet, and I hate this stuff. I really do.
Describe for us that scene that night.
Well, we're supposed to be emerging from a sewer, but there was no active sewer line or manhole in front of the museum where we're supposed to be doing this. Mm-hmm. They found a little junction box for the phone company, which was a hole in the ground about 5 feet by 2.5 feet high by about 4 feet, but filled with big cables. Danny and Ernie and I had to squeeze in there. Then they poured buckets of slime over our head, and it was about 28 degrees. And we did it about, maybe 15 to 20 times that night from every camera angle. And the next morning we were in makeup, and Ivan Reitman, the director, came in and said, that scene last night was great, but the camera jammed.
Oh,
and
no.
We have to do it again. And we laughed, and we said, yeah, that's really funny, because it was the worst night of our lives. Ernie was almost crying.
No.
He kept saying, he said if we weren't there with him, because we wrote it, he figured if we wrote it and we could do it, he would do it. And we thought Ivan was kidding, but he wasn't. The camera had stuck, and we had to do the scene over.
It looks like a giant Jell-O mold.
I hate Jell-O.
Oh, come on. There's always room for Jell-O.